What's going on, boxing fans? It's Julian Williams with The Distance. I have another fantasy matchup for you today. Cory Spinks versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. at welterweight. This is from True Boxing Fan. This is a really good matchup because when you look at it on paper, both fighters are evenly matched. They're about the same height. They have the same reach. I believe they have the same reach. Other than having the same reach, they're both defensive fighters pretty much. You know, you have to call Spinks a defensive fighter because he will not engage with you or anything, and Floyd doesn't engage with fighters anymore. I think that the big difference though in this fight is that even though Cory Spinks is defensive minded, he's more of a, I'd say that his offense sets up his defense, and Floyd Mayweather's defense sets up his offense. Because by no means is Cory Spinks a counterpuncher. Cory Spinks is the type of fighter that will go in, throw his shots and get it right out of there. Cory Spinks does give a lot of fighters trouble, and this is the reason that Cory Spinks gives a lot of fighters trouble. The fact that he is a southpaw, he's slick, he does not engage with you. He was elusive as well. All of that together makes Cory Spinks a troublesome fighter for just about any fighter. Cory Spinks, and on top of that, he had good hand speed, so he got away with it. He didn't have any power, but he had hand speed. And that was and that shows you how much he mastered down the sweet science. That he used what would win him fights. Because this was what could win Cory Spinks, all these fights, was the fact that he did, use he was a southpaw. He was, right hand dominant, and then he would like to sneak in that left hand, and when he snuck in the left hand, it caught a lot of fighters off guard. And after you catch the fighter off guard with the left hand, he'd throw at least 3 or 4 jabs and he'd start running. That's how Cory Spinks always been. He's always been pretty much a runner. I think and what's funny is that the fact that I guess he runs fast has been his advantage in his boxing career. Because I don't think his father had the best punching power either, but that's a different story. But Cory Spinks versus Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, in this fight, I think the first 4 rounds will have some trouble with Cory Spinks. I do think that Floyd Mayweather could expose a lot of flaws in Cory Spinks, but I think the first 3 or 4 rounds, I think Cory Spinks would hands down win those rounds, just because he does possess a lot of trouble. He's gonna throw his southpaw jab, because he kind of just flickers it out. He kind of just flickers out his southpaw jab. He does sneak in the left hand at times. I think he'll sneak in, at least 3 or 4 jabs and just start running. That's just the type of fighter Cory Spinks is. He's not going to engage. Doesn't like to be hit. I just think that with Floyd Mayweather, the fact that Floyd is a counter puncher, it's going to be hard to counter a guy that's not going to engage, that's going to run the whole fight. It's just going to be hard to do that. It's hard to win, a whole 12 rounds against a fighter who will just go in and just run the whole fight, and fight like that kid on the street that will walk up to you and hit you in the face, and after he hits you in the face, he starts running. That's how Cory Spinks is. That's just the type of style he has. He's just like the kid on the street that hits you in the face and then runs. My younger brother did that to me a few times, but other than that, I think that after 4 rounds, I think Floyd will get used to it, because Cory Spinks does not change that style because it works for him. It's always worked for him. Cory Spinks makes fights very sloppy, and that's what he wants. He wants the fight to be sloppy. That's just how he wins fights. He just wants the fights to be very sloppy, and I think he'll make a matchup with Floyd Mayweather sloppy. But I think that Floyd Mayweather Jr. who adapts to fighters, who adjusts to fighters, and knows how to change up his style. I think that Floyd Mayweather Jr. will start to counter and land a lot of shots, because let's face it, after about 4 or 5 rounds of Cory Spinks, that's more than enough time for Floyd to adapt. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Floyd adapted in the 4th round. I just think that Floyd Mayweather Jr. I just think that he has a lot more in his arsenal than Cory Spinks. I just think he has a lot more in his arsenal than Cory Spinks, because Cory Spinks goes in, he has the same style, doesn't really change up anything. It's just 4 or 5 jabs, and out of the way, he just starts running. It's kind of like, I'm out of here, come catch me. That's how Spinks' style really is. But other than Spinks giving Floyd a lot of trouble, especially with him being a southpaw and being slick and elusive, I just think that like I said earlier, Floyd just has a lot more in his arsenal than Cory Spinks. I think Floyd can do a lot more and do a lot of different things than Spinks, because when you come into a fight, you don't want just a plan A. You want a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You want another plan if this plan does not work, and Floyd has that and Spinks doesn't. So I'm gonna say Floyd Mayweather Jr. will win this fight by unanimous decision. I think that, just from what I stated, I just think that he has a lot more in his arsenal than Cory Spinks. And other than that, the fact that Cory Spinks does try to make fights sloppy, and the fact that he is not willing to engage, I think Floyd will press the action and win the match by unanimous decision. So anyway, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.